Go! What's going on in Hot Atlanta? Live from Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P Entertainment and K.L.P Studios. Then K.L.P in the morning with your host, K.L.P Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform. Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me tell y'all. Welcome back to the K.L.P in the Morning radio show. And this is not a trick, guys. We're not zooming this in this episode. She's physically here in the studio. Evelyn LeTeshia is here. We finally got you out here. I am so happy that you're here. We've got a slam dunk podcast for today. And then next week we've got another slam dunk podcast. But I'm so glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. Like, anytime I come down here to, good Georgia, I love it.
Good old Georgia.
Yeah.
So you guys know how we do on the morning show for the podcast as well. We like to do our check-ins. You know? So how are you? What's going on?
I am good. There's so much going on in my life. I am stage managing. I'm prop mastering for a show in Pellsworth, South Carolina, at Milltown Players. It's called the Sugar Bean Sisters. So I'm heavy into doing that right now. I got a new band. We're top of the new band. So if you're on IG, go ahead and follow my band page at Evelyn LeTeshia _live. This has been a long time coming. I've tried to be with other bands, and it just doesn't work out. My creativity and the way I just hold myself professionally and what I want to give the people when I'm on stage is just a differences of vision when I've tried to work with other people. But now I got some dope musicians behind me who I've been knowing for some years, and they're just amazing. So we're coming to you this fall. If you know of anybody that's trying to book bands, compensated bookings, go ahead and hit your girl up. But Evelyn LeTeshia _live, I got that going on. And of course, the K.L.P show, like we're here.
Hey.
This has been a long time coming. I've been thinking of like podcasts and radios. I'm like, I want to be able to do it, but I was trying to go back and forth. Like, do I do this by myself or do I want somebody that I can talk to?
Right.
Because I can talk about myself a lot. If you follow me on social media, you know Evelyn like to talk. But I love this back and forth and the meeting of minds and things. So that's what's going on. What's been going on with you?
It's been, so let me tell you, the last few couple days have been, and if you guys tune into the live stream last night on LinkedIn and Amazon.com, I've noted, the last few days has been kind of like a roller coaster. Yeah. We dealt with the downslope of my grandma passing. So we're actually getting ready for the service this weekend, and it's been kind of hard. And, to my dad, my pops that might be watching the show, we love you. So that was kind of the downslope of that. But then it increases up because, 2 of my new movies hit Prime Video last week.
Y'all better go watch.
Go watch. The Photographer. Let me tell you, the story of John Kenton, the photographer / teacher, gets hired as a photographer for a new museum in the city of Swankville. The mayor tries to shut it down. There's a whole drama effect on that. My first ever Pixar X type film. And some of my friends asked me, because my friends saw the movie, and they said, why did you get inspired? It's like, well, I've been watching Toy Story. I watched The Incredibles. Yeah. I watched all the Pixar type movies to kind of get an idea for this movie. So go check that out. Street Style Forever, my third documentary for New York Fashion Week has happened. So that's been kind of the uprising for that. And then it's just kind of been dealing with school. And I don't want to say school's a downslope, but it's just because it's a lot that you got to do. So it's been a lot of stress. So it's been that roller coaster of a wave. And then the gym, shout out to Crunch Snellville. You guys are awesome, by the way.
I tell you, gym.
Working out, doing its thing. So that's been going on with me for the last couple of days. It's been quite interesting day or a week, and we're getting over a lot of things, but we've been good. I've prayed every night and just making sure that we kind of stay swanky with it, if you know what I mean. So, it's just one of those things that it does happen, but I'm glad that you're here. And by the way, I've seen your Instagram stage manager doing your thing, doing the stage management thing there. So much talent that I see on your story. And I love to see that continue ever growing with your talent, you're still continue on with stage management. So I peeped it. So
yeah, and the thing with stage management, I'm just a natural born leader, but now I'm in this phase of my life where I really don't like wrangling adults. And what people don't understand, whether you're a stage manager in theater production, whether you are the project manager or project coordinator in film, producers, these are roles that you literally have a whole lot of people that you have to keep up with. And it could be the most rewarding thing ever because at the end of the day, you're like the glue that holds all this together. So when you see the final product, you're like, oh, I held it together. Like the ship was sinking, but I was under it like this. Like, oh Lord, we gonna make it, right? So it's a rewarding thing, but at the same time, it's just like the way I carry my professional self is no one should have to email me multiple times for me to send them what they need to do their job. No one should be waiting in limbo for me to send them something, or they got to track me down to get measured for costume, and they got to do it. So the managing side of it, I have really scaled back. I'm like maybe once or twice a year now. So we can't do that. And then because I'm still an actress as well, management takes a lot of time because most theater times when they got a new show, you're going to be rehearsing like Monday through Friday most times. It's going to be like 3 or 4 hours out of your day. So if I get booked for something down here in Georgia, you're on set for like 12 hours plus. It's kind of hard to do. And, financially, the film and television bringing a little bit more bucks over here. I have to do all that. But yeah, people ask me, well, how did you go to school for this? I'm like, no, my background in school is not even with entertainment. I have a whole master's in nursing, whole different field.
I did not know. That's news to me. I did not know that.
And I kind of separate those worlds because nursing has always been the space where I get to help people. I love helping people, but it's never been my top passion. It definitely was an outlet to get out of my small town, to get out and help people and be secure financially. But what I've discovered in this entertainment journey is I love this. I love this stuff. And the same healing that I bring to people through nursing, I've been able to do that with entertainment. There's countless people that DM me, keep making your content, baby. That just made my day. Or I smiled today because I seen your stuff. Your videos just bring me joy in life. Your laughter brings me joy in life. So I've kind of been more so this is my passion. This is where I heal people. This is where I heal myself.
That's dope. So let me ask you, and we got topics for the podcast, y'all.
Yeah, we do.
You mentioned you're an actress. Are you a method actress? Like when you get booked for a role, do you engulf in that role?
I do, but I haven't been trained in method acting. When I get a role, first of all, once you give me the synopsis of what's going on and the breakdown of the character, I physically, in my mind, could see the physical aspects of everything about that character, from what the hairs look like, how they walk, how they breathe and stuff. And I guess people would consider that method, you're living in that character in a methodical way. But I have never been trained in that way. Most people think I have because they'll see me in a character form and then they'll see me in real life and they're like, hold on, that was you?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that was me. I recently had to play a role where I was an inmate. And I ordered all these, temporary tattoos. And I had I let the locks, they was fuzzy.
Yeah.
You look like a chia pet for a little minute.
You said chia pet.
A little hair just sprouting. And I had it all kind of way. And I had tattoos and stuff and a grill. In real life, I don't want no grill. I ain't got not one tattoo. But people saw that. I was like, girl, how you did that? I was like, it's just, if I can see it. Yeah. I can visually put it in my hands and make it come to pass. And so I saw my character, all the stuff on, and I just get in the method of doing it. Acting is living in real life moments. And the more you live in the moments of what's on that page, the more authentic you come across on the scene. So I wasn't acting as an inmate. I was an inmate, antagonizing one of the leads. So... Hey. Yeah, you got a little "What's up, shorty?"
Yeah. Oh. It kind of reminded me of, and I'm a huge advocate to the LGBT, but I saw it on Facebook. There's this when you say "What's up, shorty?"
What up, shorty?
Did this girl that I follow. She goes around, and it was Atlanta Pride Month, and then you be like, hey, big dog, what's your stud name?
Oh, I've been watching. I love those.
What's your real name? And it's to me, it's so funny because to hear the actual names of the stud muffins.
Yeah.
And like, it doesn't really look like you said your name is Brittany, but your stud name is Be Easy or something.
Yeah.
It's like you look more of the Be Easy than a Brittany, but I think
My name J Money.
Yeah.
What's your real name? Jessica. I love that series.
The funniest thing I've seen on Facebook. And I don't know, it's just so funny. So I seen like a lot of, hey, what's up, shorty? Hey,
Alyssa.
Alyssa. But they call me A Money. So it is so that I've seen that on Facebook.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of things on Facebook.
Yeah.
A lot of funny videos on Facebook. And it's Facebook. I to anybody who has Facebook, go to Facebook Watch or Facebook Reels. If you want to get inspired, if you want to laugh, right? When I'm in bed at night and I'm just curled up in my bed, I'm watching Facebook videos laughing.
Look, I be going back watching my own videos. I don't know if anybody else do that. I be watching and laughing like I ain't the one that made it.
It's so funny.
Cackling.
It is the funniest thing ever. So we've got some topics.
We
today,
got some topics.
And I'm gonna play this thing. I think because this is new, right?
Okay.
We got that topic
Let's
today.
hear it.
Let me see if it's still going.
Some of y'all might know this, and some of y'all don't. Let's do it.
K.L.P. has all the topics, stories, and gossip. It is now time for our top story from K.L.P.
So yes, the top story for the morning. You like that, didn't you?
I did. I love that.
So this is something we do for the radio. Like we press the buttons and they have a little effects. I got to get your name on some of these bugs. By
You
the
do.
Way. I'm
you look, the millennial in me when I heard some of y'all might get. I was like, let me clear my throat. I was ready. I was so ready.
I know about that song. That's one of my favorites. So our top story today, Kendrick Lamar. Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Everybody's talking about it. Let's talk about Kendrick Lamar. So Kendrick Lamar, first of all, I know this is kind of old, but he still won the beef, right? He won my book. He is booked for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
The Super Bowl halftime show will be in New Orleans next year. The Big Easy at the stadium down there. Very, very exciting for that as well, because I've been watching football and the Saints did really well on their week one game.
Yeah.
Falcons didn't do so much. You guys want to know my spiel? Watch Wednesday Night Live. I went in on the Falcons last night. So Kendrick Lamar is going to be debuting, well, not debuting, but having his spot at the Super Bowl. Now, mind you, Kendrick Lamar has been at the Super Bowl performance. What was it, 2 years ago when Dr. Dre did his Super Bowl and Kendrick Lamar did his We Gonna Be All Right, But now Kendrick Lamar has his spotlight this time.
Yes.
I think this is a smart move for NFL and Super Bowl.
I think so too.
Because you got that hit song, Not Like Us is out. Of course they're going to play that at Super Bowl. But a lot of people have been questioning, okay, why not have Lil Wayne?
Yeah. There was mixed reviews.
Mixed reviews for Lil Wayne. And I've seen a lot of podcasters, and even the Joe Budden podcast, shout out to them up there in Jersey. They say that Lil Wayne has the hits, but he may not have the hits as big as the Super Bowl. Yeah. And I wanted to get your take on that because Lil Wayne, I listened to Lil Wayne first before I listened to Kendrick Lamar. Yeah. And could Lil Wayne do his own Super Bowl? I think he could. Do you think Lil Wayne has the hits for a Super Bowl? And do you think that Kendrick might invite him to be part of the show? Because you got to think about it. Kendrick Lamar can't do the whole show by himself. He has to have other artists to do the show with him.
Well, I mean, first of all, I don't think he has to have other artists because you got to keep in mind, halftime is only about 15 minutes.
That's true.
So we're talking at max. If you're going to do 5-minute songs, 3 songs. If you're going to do a medley of 3-minute songs, 5 songs. So he doesn't have to have a co-headliner or bring people out. But knowing Kendrick Lamar and his track record of how he helps feature other people on his sets, I feel like he would. Now, I will start saying I'm a big fan of Kendrick Lamar and Lil Wayne. I grew up on Lil Wayne from Blang Blang and the Hot Boys and, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Lollipop, everything. So I think he has the hits. But this is what people are missing. And I get that people are upset because it's in New Orleans. This is his home. He's a legend there out of New Orleans. I get why people are upset that he wasn't dubbed to do the halftime show. This is why Lil Wayne is not, in my opinion, good for the halftime show. You got the hits, but the performance. I have not seen a Lil Wayne performance, and he's been performing in the past few years, that's Super Bowl worthy. You talking about Super Bowl where there are huge sponsors. All eyes are on this halftime show, and the artist that you choose has to be able to deliver a performance worthy of that space. And I just have not seen that from Lil Wayne. So people can say all day, like, yeah, he's NOLA, and he need to be featured. But what we gonna, like, the last couple of things I've seen Lil Wayne, he didn't sound good live. You know, he did some of his lyrics or whatever, but it just it wasn't a great performance in my opinion. And then you got people now coming out who's been producers and things of other shows saying, hey, he ain't showed up to none of the rehearsals. We didn't know if he was going to even come on stage until he ran out on stage right at the start of his set and then ran off. We never got to even speak to him. When you got those kind of things that precede you. Yeah. The NFL committee who do the halftime show, they're trying to protect their investments. Yeah. You know?
Millions, maybe millions of dollars
goes into this.
To the Super Bowl.
So you got to think, like, am I going to take a chance on Lil Wayne? If this is the track record, you know? Yeah. So, and I think people, because we have such a passion and we love Wayne, that's what is coming. And then other people are throwing in the fact that when the topic and discussion of who's the GOAT comes up, him and Jay-Z are always put against each other. And Jay-Z being one of the people on that board, they're thinking, oh, this is personal, you know? So you got that element in there too. And then I'm like, as bad as you feel about Lil Wayne not being dubbed for the Super Bowl, why can't Kendrick still get his flowers that he's there? Because I know some of y'all who are listening, you know, or watching, y'all may be too young to remember Nipplegate. What is Nipplegate? We talking about Janet Jackson. We talking about Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake, the Super Bowl that her nipple was exposed. I don't know if y'all remember, but after that happened, for years the Super Bowl played it safe. A lot of artists of colors wouldn't even invite it for a long period because they was like, oh, we don't want nothing to go wrong again after that. So to have black artists and artists of color in general the past few years to come and be able to be on that platform is amazing. And like, you don't want to put somebody in that space that may undo all the work that's been done to get us back in that platform, the space that we need to be. But again, I give high reverence to Lil Wayne and Kendrick Lamar, but we can still support Kendrick Lamar. We don't have to tear down this man being dubbed for the Super Bowl because Lil Wayne didn't get it. That's where I stand on it. And who knows? It's so early in the announcement. Y'all don't even know if Kendrick is going to bring Wayne out. Just all over social media talking.
I think Wayne's going to be there. I mean,
I think he's going to bring him out. That it only seems right. And the thing I love about Kendrick delivers messages. You know, while he's performing, you enjoy it. He has such an artistic way that he puts on a performance. Like, so for those who are claiming that, oh, what Kendrick gonna put out stuff, every time I've seen something for Kendrick on the stage, it's been this deep connecting piece for me. Yes. You know? Yeah. That's where I stand on it.
I think Lil Wayne's gonna be there. I do think that it's a money play. If you think money wise, you know, you got Not Like Us that's not going anywhere. Yeah. Right. Not. It's going to be the anthem for a long time, right? Because this is one of the, in my opinion, the pivotal beefs that we've had, right? We've had other beefs. We've had people who look at the Kendrick Lamar beef and try to make a beef from themselves. Yeah. I saw what's that group? Lauryn Hill's group.
On the Fugees.
The Fugees, and the guy that was on the Fugees, he was trying to beef with Lauryn Hill,
Praz. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah, and it was kind of because I saw that too. It was like, okay, you can't make something that's not there. Yeah. Although I'm signing with him. I'm sorry. I'm about to. Some people about to hate me. I'm not a fan of Lauryn Hill. I don't think she's that great, honestly. It's kind of disrespectful to me too when she's 3 hours late to her own performance, but that's neither here or there.
Sure, I love her, but I ain't paying for no ticket.
Nah.
But ma'am, you're not playing my money. I love me some Lauryn Hill. I sing a lot of her songs. Yeah. I love you, Miss Hill. But I ain't paying for them tickets. Not the way you not be showing up. You not playing my money.
I liked her in Sister Act. I mean, she's good actress. Well, I mean, I don't know if she still acts or not, but
I don't know. I don't think she does.
it's just, I don't know. I don't really like her. Hot take.
Yeah.
I know that's a
Yeah,
very
hot
hot take
take
to a lot of people out there. But they tried to make beefs from that too. So I think a lot of people, because in a business mindset, I think of this that, hey, it is going to sell, right?
Yeah.
Drake versus Kendrick sold. I mean, yeah, Drake versus Kendrick sold. So everybody's trying to relate to this. All right, let's start a beef, because if they did it if you think about it, Drake and Kendrick made a lot of money from this beef.
Yeah.
Even though they're really beefing, there's a lot of money at play. So NFL says, hey, we're going to market that, right? That is something that we're going to market and make money off of.
And I'm not one who typically follows beefs, but this was one.
This is a big
that
one.
just, no matter where you look, it was in your face.
It was in your face.
In your
it
face.
was talked about a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah.
And I think NFL is relating to, like, in my opinion, more of the celebrity styles now, because I've seen a lot of football players in a lot more commercials than usual.
Oh yeah.
Right. If Taylor Swift is at a Chiefs game, Taylor Swift story now. Right. Just flip the script. It's not even about the game anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So NFL is capitalizing on that fame from celebrities, and there's no doubt in my mind, Evelyn, that Lil Wayne will be there. I think here are my top people. I think they're going to pull out for this one this year. So Kendrick, Lil Wayne, maybe Snoop Dogg might be up there. I would love to see Jay-Z, because they did a song, Don't Kill My Vibe. So if that happens, it happens. I think if they can get rights from Disney, I think Kendrick and SZA with the Black Panther theme, right? Those are my prime.
I want to see him
favorite.
and Beyonce do Freedom.
Oh, that's a good idea. Hey, NFL.
Freedom, I can't move. I be up there stumping like I'm.
That's a good thing to do, you know. Those are my top 5 people. And maybe Eminem, maybe.
Yeah.
Those are my top 5 people. I want to say J-Rock. J-Rock and Kendrick. Yes. Bring them out there. Money Tree. Na 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 na. Y'all know that thing that's been on TikTok. That's my prime top people that I think Kendrick is gonna bring out. What's your top people? I
mean, you hit the ones that I would have guessed, you know. And like I said, even if he didn't, Kendrick's songs and his performances of what he puts together artistically could stand alone without any featured artist. I just don't see him not bringing anybody out, though. That's just how Kendrick does. Like, he's... And people who wanna just dumb down and downplay Kendrick to this beef between him and Drake really don't follow Kendrick Lamar. This man is a philanthropist. He... gives back to his community, other communities around the world. He really is doing work. If you really follow him, he is beyond just an artist. So I see him bringing people out. I definitely do. And I'm excited to see what it's going to hold. In the meantime, I'm just asking like people to like let it breathe.
Yeah.
We don't have to spend every day being crabs in a barrel. Like not every day, y'all. Take a break. I'm like, do y'all got PTO? Can y'all clock out? Like, you ain't got to be crabs in a barrel every day.
Every time.
Like every time.
Yeah.
Some people wake up just like, how can I pull this brother down today?
Yeah. And people hate on Kendrick, right? People hate on. I think Kendrick's him. I gotta say, Kendrick is him. Drake is him too.
It's just big me.
Boom.
That's my part.
Like, that's gonna be. That's gonna be. Okay, so they're gonna spend a lot of money on that performance.
Yeah.
Whatever performance because there's so many elements, creative directors, videographers, planners. They're gonna put a lot of big budget for that song, at least.
I feel it.
At least.
I feel it.
Do you think he's gonna bring out Drake? Let's just say if NFL say, hey, bring out Drake. Do you think Kendrick do it?
I don't think that. First of all, let's talk about. Ain't no way beefing, whether the beef was fake or not. Like, cause some people try to say it was fake. You ain't about to call me a pedophile, and we're gonna fake that, and then you're gonna bring me out on stage.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, probably A minor.
Yeah,
like, ain't no way. I highly doubt that because and one, like I said, Kendrick, the work that he does, he's in a very protective space. I think of wanting to protect people and. the way he mentioned multiple times in that particular song about Drake and minors and keep your little sister from him and all that kind of stuff means this is something that's really close to him that, yeah, this is protect me. I don't see him, you know, inviting Drake onto that stage. And if I was Drake, there's no way you going to call me a pedophile. And we cool after that. There's no way ever. Like,
and that's hard because I've never been called that, and thank God, because that can ruin your life. That can ruin your life because let me tell y'all, it's not good when you get called something like that. Because that ruins you. Even though if it's true or not, we don't really know the full background of that. But it's one of those things that it does happen. I forgot about that though, because I was like, what if he brings Drake out, right? Like just.
And if he and if for some reason he did, it would totally for me invalidate this whole beef. Then it would make it seem like, oh, this whole thing was fake.
Good
because,
like marketing play.
Yeah, because I'm like, ain't no way you're gonna get on wax a song especially like this that has been playing around the world. Yeah. There are kids in preschool going, they not like they like you got this song playing everywhere, and the line that most people hold along is A minor. Like, there's
they look
no
around,
way,
especially in a club too. Yeah,
you can't pull that back. And the way I protect babies, if you even fix your lips to call me a pedophile, baby, your teeth gonna be down your throat. Nah, they're gonna put me in jail for a whole nother reason. Like, ain't no way. So I just don't see it. If he was to invite Drake on that stage, it would just totally. Everybody like, yep, see, it was fake. But I there's nothing in me that we even want to fake being called a pedophile. Like, we're not going to normalize that. I know people are trying to. Right. We're not going to normalize pedophilia. Never. That would never be normalized for me. Never.
I've seen it one time. I was out somewhere, and this was I guess would look like it was an older man, and he was with some girl that I guess that was like the coach or something. And they were, I was out and I seen them and they were kicking, and I'm like, oh, that's probably your coach. He looked like he'd be like he was a tennis coach because she played tennis coach. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you're the coach. I get it. Yeah. And then they're joking, and then he grabs her by the neck and presses her against the wall. I'm like, whoa. And then they stopped because they saw me coming. And it was like, yeah, that's weird. Don't do that again, because I could report that to see, hey, that's something there going on, but I had something to do, so I was like, I don't want to get so much involved, but that looked kind of weird. So I say to a lot of people, be careful, because things like that happen. Pedophilia happens out there. Yeah,
definitely.
Especially if you get if there's an allegation that you've done something like that, or you've been called something like that. That's something you can't really bounce back from.
Yeah, that's something I don't play around with. Yeah, so. That's a good way for you to turn Evelyn into a quick murderer or some sort, because baby, let somebody, especially babies that's close to me. Like I said, I have 2 biological nieces, but I have a plethora of nieces and nephews by way of friends, neighbors that I'm TT, and let me find out that happened to them. Boy, y'all gonna have to lock me somewhere so I don't get out. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all have to lock me in somewhere.
Right. So moving on to our next. So, man, this is so new. So, we're not like the Breakfast Club. You know how the Breakfast Club got Donkey of the Day? Yeah. I don't know if you saw my latest show, but...
Okay. Some of y'all might know this, and some of y'all don't.
Let's do it. It is now time for the elephant in the room. K.L.P. Who's the biggest elephant today?
So I got to give the elephant of the room. That's our version of Donkey of the Day.
Elephant in the room.
Shannon Sharp.
Whew.
We all know what happened. Shannon Sharp accidentally goes live during a sexual encounter. This happened a couple of days ago. I've read a little bit about the news, but I think you have a little bit more detail and background about this one.
So for those who don't know, Shannon Sharp accidentally, and I'm just going to put quotes because there's been speculation around that, accidentally went live on IG. And so you can't really see anything, but you hear him talking to what we, hear sounds like a female voice of them in the sexual encounter. And he's talking her through it. Well, first of all, side note, I like to be talked through it. But anyways, he's talking her through it. And we're hearing this like live. And, we hear some some sounds being made and all that kind of stuff. And then so people are like, oh Lord, was he hacked? What happened? Blah blah. And at one point on his social media page, it came up that he said it was hacked. But then like either late last night or this morning, him and Ocho Cinco on their podcast, he came forward and said no, he was not hacked. That it actually was his IG live that for some reason when he got home, he said he threw his phone over, just threw it. I guess it cut on and it was done. He said, but then his other phone started ringing. People were trying to FaceTime him, and he said people don't normally FaceTime him, so he didn't know what's going on. Yeah. And I think he said Jamie Foxx was like, "Hey man, you on live?" He said, "What do you mean I'm on live?" He said, "What I'm doing on there?" he said, "They can hear you." He's like, "Okay, hear me doing what?" Because I'm getting frustrated now because you talking in circles. He's like, "Man, they can hear you having a sexual." He's like, "What?"
Going in right now.
And Shannon says that he didn't know he was on live. He's never been on his IG live. That he didn't even know how to turn it off. That he had to get his assistant to come in and turn it off for him. And that there was an assistant who was, I guess, trying to just damage control real quick, and say that it was hacked. So his assistant was the one who put up that status, is what he was saying. But then he got it taken down. And he's come forth since, and told us, he said, I went to my bosses at ESPN, all these other places, and told them straight up, that was mine. I wasn't hacked. This is what happened. To me, I'm just like, SHIT happen. I don't know if I was a cook.
Yeah, I mean, it does
Stuff
happen.
happens.
It's funny because and I'm sure it's an honest mistake, but it's so crazy how if you just throw your phone down on the ground and just, hey, I'm just gonna go live by itself.
Yeah.
That I don't know how that happened. Right. And I'm sure maybe Shannon Sharp has an iPhone. And usually iPhone, you need a couple more steps before you can log in.
The same thing with the Android.
Either that or maybe he was on social media on a platform and then it just, maybe when he plopped it down, it accidentally hit the button wherever he plopped it down on at. Very, very interesting. I have to give him the elephant of the room because Shannon Sharp, I have to be, and if you're watching the podcast, I got to be a little bit critical in a good way, right? Because Shannon Sharp, when he was on Undisputed with Skip Bayless, right? He's a good analyst, good podcaster, but good analyst. He's good at his job. Yeah. But, and there's no race thing about this one, but when you are a person of color in the media space, you have to be really careful, right? Because nowadays, in my opinion, there are people that want to get you counseled because they don't like your stature. They don't like what you do. If you do great work, they don't like it, right? You're going to have haters out here in this world. Yeah. So you have to be extremely careful. And I'm very critical about our particularly our black men in media spaces, because there's been black men in this space where something like this happens that's controversial, you can get canceled. You can get things stripped away. Let's just look at Jonathan Majors, right? I believe that maybe he was in a tough spot or rocking a hard place, but look how he got canceled real quick. Yeah. And I'm sure he'll bounce back, right? He's doing some things to bounce back, but he got canceled real quick. Yeah. And I don't want that for Jonathan Majors. I don't want that for Shannon Sharp too. So luckily ESPN understood. Yeah. And
Shannon came on when he gave his apology. Yeah. He said that there's a lot of you, there's a level of expectation for me to maintain my professionalism at all times. And I pride myself on that. So I do apologize that this happened. Yeah. Me personally, I'm just like,
it's funny.
It's funny, but it's real life. And although there's steps to get onto, live, I can't say that it's impossible for it to happen. Because there's been times my phone does voice command stuff, so it'll hear certain things and think I said record. So I'll go back. I got a whole 5 minutes of me just walking through the house with no clothes on. I'm like, see, that's why I don't have my phone up.
Yeah, my Apple Watch does.
Yeah, so I'm like, things happen. And then it's not like we haven't heard Shannon and Ocho Cinco on their podcast talking about his sexual, appetite endeavors. Now, this is the thing that comes into play. People think that this was deliberate because from day one, it seems like people are so hell-bent on talking about Shannon's sexuality. they want to make this man gay so bad. So a lot of people are speculating that this was something done deliberately to separate himself from those talks.
Yeah. I remember when he got out that truck, he was like, I was like, why you standing like that?
That's what I said. Well, and the thing is, speaking as somebody who's athlete and got all these knee and back problems, I understood because the man went through 2 hip replacements and knees, and so I understood it. But with the orange,
he's big too.
And
like,
people, big. And I promise you, I can't get over people keep comparing him to looking like Miss Netta. I'm like, y'all need to stop. Leave Shannon alone. Leave Shannon alone. But let's get back to it. The way he was talking, hey Michelle. That was her name that he was calling out. He was Michelle. He was telling, hey Michelle. But the way he was talking to Michelle, I don't know about you, but I love me a talk me through it type of dude. Like I don't like quiet. I'm like, at least we know Shannon talk. Yeah. Because I don't like no quiet in the room. You don't want to
be quiet.
Like I like you to talk to me. I'm like, talk. What you want, baby? What you want? Throw, baby.
Look, that's a good song too. I remember when that song.
That's kind of song I don't listen to. Like I listen to that behind closed doors. With the right
certain
people.
Songs. Let me tell you, certain songs you gotta listen to like sort of by yourself,
or in my headphones when I'm working out.
When I'm working out, you best believe I be doing that too at the gym. Crunch Neville, y'all they be seeing me. I be like, and then one of the trainers like,
what you be doing again? Show me that again.
That's how it was.
I know they got me on camera dancing from station to station.
I dance when I go to the gym.
I do too. It's I feel
certain
good.
Music that just gets me going. Right?
Yeah, and the fact that I made it to the gym is, because there's times when you're just tired of the day. You're like, I want to go home right now. Yeah. So I'm like, I gotta keep this energy going. So I mean, it just,
Do you take? And I know we're talking about Shannon Sharp, but I mean, this because he work out. Yeah. It's kind of related. Yeah. You take B12?
I don't. I had to take vitamin D because I got real low one time. So I do take vitamin D. I want to get back on a multivitamin, but most time, if I just need an extra boost of energy, especially on a game day, because I did mention that when we went through our catch-up. I'm on a co-ed flag football team.
I did see that too.
Yeah, so we've been practicing for like the past 4 or 5 weeks, and we had our first game last night. We didn't come out victorious, but we was close. We was balling. But
balling, that's all.
It felt good just to be out there. But trying to just stay active as I've always been. But I'm not on that right now. No, I'm not on that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Shannon did his big one with that.
Yeah, big one. He got called. Yeah, but like I say, I think Shannon's gonna bounce back. I think a lot of people are going. Podcasters like us, we're talking about it now. But I think it's gonna be a thing of the past. It's gonna be something that is laughed at. I just get very nervous because again, so I've worked for ESPN, so there's a lot of things that with ESPN that's a big no-no, right? Yeah. So that's why I was kind of nervous because I don't want him to lose his job because of an accident, right? Yeah. But I don't think because Shannon Sharp's pretty big with his podcast Club Shay Shay, which next week we'll talk about Marlon Wayans and his interview next week's episode, so stay tuned for that. But we worked for ESPN and now he's big on ESPN. He's with Stephen A. Smith, another motivational person from myself personally. I love Stephen A. Smith. So it's just like, it's a lot of anticipation. It's a lot of, you got to really be careful what you say or what you do. Yeah. Right? Because Shannon Sharp is big, but he's not Stephen A. big. Now, if Stephen A. Smith leave ESPN, he's not going to leave ESPN. Yeah. But if he leave ESPN, Stephen A. Smith is going to be good. He got his podcast. He got a voice. He can go anywhere. Shannon Sharp, he's on his way to that level. He's not quite there
You still think he's on his way?
Who, Shannon Sharp?
Yeah.
I think so.
Because I would say that I think he is right there with Stephen A. Smith, if not going around him. Even if Stephen A. was to get some of the people on his podcast that Shannon's gotten, Shannon's podcast is doing numbers with the guests he brings on.
The Cat Williams still doing numbers.
Yeah, so months ago. And we'll talk, get into the Marlon Wayans thing. So, we'll get into that. But this is my thing. Anybody that wants to cancel Shannon Sharp over this, I don't know what reality y'all living into. This is a grown adult man. Okay? Yes, it happened. Yes, you probably like, I didn't want to hear. But for you to even see it on live, me and you was on this page. That's the only way you could have seen it. Or people screen capture and started resharing it. But at some point, you had to make the conscious decision to listen to it. So you can't then go, oh, I want to cancel him because of what I heard.
Yeah.
But you chose to listen to it.
Yeah.
Like, and we talked about this on the past episode about how cancel culture is so fickle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did. Yep.
Yeah, like, and if we're gonna cancel him for this, especially if ESPN is gonna try to strip him for this, then you're gonna have to strip away some of the highlights for some of these athletes who are constantly in trouble, breaking the law, domestic violence, drug abuse. You're gonna have to go down a whole swoop of people if you're gonna cancel Shannon Sharpe because of this incident. That's just my take on it. Yeah. Elephant in the room.
Yeah, the elephant in the room. Shannon Sharpe.
That's a
in a good way.
double entendre.
Yeah, in a good way.
Shannon had the elephant in the room.
Yeah. Let me tell you, because I follow Shannon Sharpe on Instagram too. So, like, the man he's big.
Yeah.
Like,
I had to quit calling him Uncle Shay Shay.
Yeah.
Because the things I started envisioning,
Yeah.
I could have been Michelle. That's what I was like. I had to quit calling him Uncle Shay Shay. I was like, no. I was because being in my 30s, and so I'm at that age, that sweet spot where they say, oh, I could date the son, the daughter, or I could date the mom or the daddy. That's where I'm at, right? So I'm like, Shannon ain't out of my age range, and he keep his body up and stuff. I had to quit calling him Uncle Shay Shay. Yeah. I had to, because I was like, there's things that me and Shannon can do that I ain't trying to do with my uncles. So I had to quit calling him that. Yeah.
So, quick question. Now this got me thinking. Mm-hmm. Who would win? I won't say in a wrestling match because that's not fair. But who would win in a power workout session? Shannon Sharpe or The Rock, Dwayne Johnson?
What they doing? Like, you mean just straight?
Let's see. What workout did I do? So press push-ups. That may not be the name of it. Like the bar, and then you go like this. I forgot what that exercise was called.
Bench press.
Bench press. There it is. Yeah.
I would have to give it to The Rock, just because The Rock is also an action actor who's constantly working out for that. Like, Shannon does work out. Yeah. But it's still a different, toll. And then, like I said, Shannon has the history of the replacements. So it depends on what workout it is, but I think I would edge with The Rock if that was the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was thinking Shannon, but because he's big, but The Rock too, because he's, action superstar, and then a WWE superstar, so he wrestled. So yeah, I still have to give it to The Rock. And The Rock, let me tell you, The Rock just be my motivations is Shannon Sharpe. When it comes to fitness, right? Because there's some big dudes. Big.
I be seeing you on that when you be squatting. I was like, come on, thighs.
Yeah,
come on. I be seeing the muscles pop, and I was like, you be doing. I was like,
I posted something.
KP, what?
Because I did my little post, and then the caption is, I'm somebody's girlfriend. And one of my friends like, hey, we ain't going on a cruise then. You cheating on me? It's a running joke that me and my friend got. I ain't gonna put her name out on blast like this.
Don't be like, Michelle.
But she knows she watching.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
You know who you talking to.
Yeah, so Shannon Sharpe, like I say, the biggest elephant of the room, but in a good way. Yeah. I think this is a common mistake that happens. Don't let it happen again, right? That's probably what ESPN told him, but I think he's still going to be there.
Look, Shannon, from now on, when you have your encounters, put them phones in a whole different room. Lock it up somewhere, right? Don't want to hear, don't want to see.
And that's actually smart, because I don't know if Michelle is he married? He's not married, is he?
He's not.
So if it's just some girl that you got over, you don't really want to have your prized possessions, like your phone, out where she can get it and view it, because she might hack into some stuff. Because I'm sure his bank account's got a black card.
Child, let me tell you something.
You got a black card.
When I've had my encounters, especially early on, after I divorced and everything, and way back when, like you weren't bringing your phone into to my bedroom. You were, and if we were like, if I was out of town, we were at a hotel or whatever, your phone going in the bathroom and we're gonna shut the door. We leaving it over there or in the safe, because we're not getting into them games. Nah. I like discretion. And I deal with people who love discretion. We can be in the same room and nobody know but us. Baby,
nice
that's the kind of foreplay that y'all don't even know. That's grown people stuff.
They're grown folk.
And I ain't talking about grown by age, because there's a lot of people who are, higher in age, but they still ain't grown. They out here playing and being messy and want to expose. And no, I ain't got time for all that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you be surprised. You need grown folk.
Grown folk.
But Shannon, shout out to you, man.
Shout out Shannon.
So we've got sort of two topics that we're gonna loop into one. Because it kind of goes hand in hand. And one of the part of the show that we like to do, we like to ask interesting questions. Yes. Sometimes we come with the drama and the gossip and the top stories, but sometimes we like to get real and have some good conversations. Yeah. So the first question that we pose for our audience, does length of time equal automatic loyalty? Think about that, y'all. And y'all can comment below. And while we think about it, because I forgot to get the sponsors out. I got to get these sponsors out.
Get those sponsors out. We need y'all.
First sponsor goes out to ProMed Consulting. Shout us out. ProMed Consulting is a mobile wound care business that I am a part of. It's owned by my mother, Daphne Wise. So shout out to her. She's doing some amazing things. If you have a patient or a client that's looking to have mobile wound care, be more mobile, reach out to us. We're your best outlets for that as well. The second sponsor, well, first of all, hold on. Let me get my air horn. Shout out to you. And the second sponsor goes out to, I'm not conceited, I promise, but I got to sell.
Baby, do your big one. Do your big one.
Kennedy Lucas Films is the second
get
one.
Get them horns.
Thank you. I almost forgot. See, she knows. She'll pro at this.
Don't want nobody to beat your horn. You do it yourself. Yeah.
Kennedy Lucas Films is, of course, our film studio here at K.L.P Entertainment. Obviously, we talked about it earlier. I've got 2 new movies out right now, The Photographer and Street Style Forever. Those are the 2 new ones. And actually, we technically have 3. Eden Prime, codename Atlas, came out a couple of months ago. And now it's finally making its way on Prime. That is the sequel. Eden Prime, codename Alice, you're following the story of Ava Lockhart for the second time, and she's trying to uncover her truth about the mother of her dad and her brother that was killed in the first movie. You got to see the first. Now, the first one's still going good, too. Yeah. But we're continuing on her story. But then, without her family, she's going through some stuff, right? There's a new foe in there, and then my character, Francis Green, makes a return for this as well. There's a new foe. I ain't gonna give away too much. You gotta go see the movie. Codename Atlas, Eden Prime, the second movie. It's amazing. So check us out on Prime Video. We really love it. And big shout out to Amazon, because not only that we're uploading episodes now to major audio platforms and YouTube, we're also uploading to Amazon Live shoppable videos where we upload the video.
Lord.
Upload the videos, and we're able to link products that you see here. You can see the Rode mics and the light kits. They will be listed at the shoppable links at the bottom, so you can shop for podcast equipment as well. So shout out to Amazon for that as well.
Not me hitting the chirps.
Yeah, no.
I was like,
Whoopsies. Yeah, so shout out to you guys as well, audience that's here now.
So pose those questions again, just
for the people who might have just forgot about it. Does length of time equal automatic loyalty?
So let me talk on this one, because this comes from a personal place. So, okay, I became a homeowner in 2016, right? And, living alone, first time homeowner, I knew I wanted me to get an alarm system. But I'm still moving, I'm doing stuff. So about 2 years into my home, around 2017, 18, I'm like, I need to get an alarm system. And at the time, there was this company that was soliciting, door to door, which not supposed to be soliciting in my neighborhood, but I didn't know that time. But it came to my door, so I'm thinking, the universe has brought somebody to my door. So he ends up telling me about the security system and blah, blah, and it sounded so good, and I needed it. And so I signed up for it. And it wasn't until like 2 years into it, because I was going to change. I was getting all this stuff from another company that was probably $20 cheaper, and I was going to get more coverage, because the company I had was only covering the 3 doors that you can enter in and out. And I had one camera mounted up in the living room, but it wasn't like a 4K or 8K camera. It was kind of like a grain, like I could peek in during the day, but it's kind of grainy. But you could see during the day, but once it got nighttime, it wasn't a night vision camera. So it was just dark if you peeked in. Oh, wow. And so I was like, well, I'm going to change. And so I go to look at my contract and realize it says 96 months. I was like, oh, I'm like 5 years. I'm counting. I was like, oh, man, I got some more time.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to ride this out. As soon as it's done, I'm going to get a new, company. Mm-hmm. And so fast forward to last week, I've been getting a call from my company, you need to call us regarding your account. And I'm looking at my bank account. I'm like, why do they need me to call? Like, y'all taking the money as direct deposit. Like, what I need to call y'all for? So I called and the lady was like, it seems like you, because I got a letter in the mail as well that said, we're going to terminate your policy with us because of failure to pay for 96 days. And I'm like, what? Because I immediately go to my bank account and I'm looking. I'm like, y'all are taking the money out of my account. So I called them and she's like, it looks like there was a payment missed in May when we tried to I said, no, I'm looking at my account. Yeah. Y'all took it in May. Y'all been taking it every month. You just took it in August. Like, and the next one coming up in September. Yeah. And so, like, I'm like, you know what? I've been meaning to get rid of y'all. I said, I want to cancel my policy. I said, because I've been meaning to do it. Yeah. She's like, what brought this change? I said, well, I've been meaning to do it for a while, and this is the perfect time to go ahead and get it done. Yeah. She said, okay, well, is there anything I could do to keep you on? I said, no, ma'am, there's not.
No, there's not.
There's not.
Yeah, that's the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, so she says, well, I'm going to put you over to our retention department. And so she puts me over to the guy of retention. And he was like, hey, how are you doing? So I said, I just want to cancel my policy today. He says, everything? I said, no, I just found, companies that are better suited and give me more coverage. Because, again, only these 3 doors and a camera is all I got from y'all. And I'm paying like $60, close to $70 a month. None of my windows on the bottom are covered. Oh, wow. Of course, if you open the window and you step in direct sight of the sensor, then but there's ways around the sensor. So it's not fully secured. And I know companies that would offer all my windows plus the doors and for like $20 cheaper. Yeah. And he was like, well, what companies are you currently looking at? I said, well, I like to keep that between me and those companies. Yeah. Right?
See, that's what they do.
And then this is where he had me effed up. Yeah. He said to me, well, you've been with our companies more than 5 years. I would think that you would owe some kind of loyalty to give us a chance to negotiate with you. I said, excuse me?
Excuse me?
I said, sir, I don't owe y'all nothing. Yeah. I was paying y'all for a service. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you paid for service.
And he's like, no, well, this is my job just to try to, I said, no, your job is to do what I ask of you right now. And I'm asking you to cancel my service. Yeah. One thing about me, when it comes to my money that I've worked hard for, you ain't going to gaslight me into trying to stay with your company. And I told him, I said, you're not going to gaslight me into staying with your company because you think I owe you loyalty. Yeah, nah. I was paying you for a service, right? I said, even now, y'all sent me a letter wanting to terminate because you said I haven't paid for 96 days back in May that was missed. I said, but now you want to talk to me about loyalty. I said, no, you can cancel. He said, well, it's just my training. I said, well, you need to be retrained on how you speak to people. Yeah. Because that's not it. I said, if you want to retain people, that's not the way you start that off. And so it made me think about loyalty in terms of time and relationships when it comes to romantic relationships, friendships, familiar relationships. A lot of times people will think because I've known this person or been in this relationship with them for this amount of time that I owe them loyalty. Or the person on the flip end, you owe me loyalty because we've been friends since the 6th grade and now we 40. And you owe me that loyalty. I'm just like, that level of thinking for me, that's why a lot of people stay in relationships way longer than they should have. Because you think that length of time means you owe that person loyalty. And I don't think that's true. We grow through life. There's going to be times when you grow beyond what your boundaries of your friendship was. Now, can you negotiate what the terms are now? Yes. Right. But if I'm growing and you are direct, hindrance to my growth, then it's okay that we cut those ties. The same way if you're growing and I'm holding you back. That's okay to cut that. So that's why we pose that question. Does length of time guarantee that you need to be loyal to this relationship still? Because it's holding people hostage. What are your thoughts on that?
So I think loyalty is important.
Yes, very.
I think a lot of people have to understand that first of all, nothing's owed to anybody.
No.
Right? It's the same kind of saying as is nothing is promised to anybody. Loyalty is not promised to anybody. I've had it to where in friends relationships where, we have been knowing that person for a long time and they think it's expected that we give that loyalty back. But then when that person grows and finds some other new friends and then they're not showing us the loyalty back with us, they go with that new friend. And then we say, okay, well, cool. You got your friends. And then when they bum you out, you can't come back here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think loyalty is not promised and it's not owed to anybody. And if anybody tell you that, they're a fool.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Definitely important, but not, like you said, not owed.
Not owed to you. So for me, my loyalty towards people is first about respect and understanding and caring and being, what's the word I'm looking for? Being excited for that person. If they got something going on, get excited with them. That's my form of loyalty. And I also portray that, but I'm very humble with it. I'm very subtle with it.
Yeah.
Like, let's say if you got something going on, let's say flag football, right? I'm super excited for you, but I'm not going to fake it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I need you to do this because I showed up for you for your flag football. That's not how that works.
Yes. That's what I mean with gaslighting and manipulating. Like when he said, oh, well, you've been with us longer than 5 years. I would think you owe us the loyalty.
That's not how that works. So
that we can bid for your service. Like,
no.
That's no.
Because at the end of the day, that person, whoever that customer, he gonna go home at night and forget all about you.
Yes.
Right? You're just a number to, and that's just as corporations, especially when you're paying for something. You're just a number. You're the customer, the number.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I'm glad that you're like, well, no, I don't know anything. You need to be retrained because you don't really care about me as a person. You care about, hey, you about to lose money.
Yeah.
Right? So I think a lot of business in that term, they should realize the actual loyalty of a person than just their number. It's a lot of companies with the loyalty programs, membership programs where they're just a number. A lot of companies don't care about them as the individual and their feelings, right? And that's where that kind of messes up a lot of companies because they don't care about that kind of thing. In terms of loyalty with friends, I've had a lot of friends now that I've known for a very long time, and they show me the loyalty, but then that's kind of what makes a friendship strong. Like you can show loyalty, but you can also have boundaries too.
Yes.
Like with my friend circle, we have boundaries, right? I might say to my friend, like, hey, I don't think you did that right. Oh, that may be wrong. And they can hear me out. It's the same vice versa with me too. The same thing with my family members. If I've done something that I thought was right, but it may not be wrong, that loyalty in them, they say, hey, Kennedy, you did this wrong.
Yeah.
Or I don't think you should have done it like this. Here's just my little 2 cents. Take it how you will. And I reciprocate and I learn, right? It's the same thing with my little brother. My little brother, Ryan, they give me advice all the time. It's not like, I'm not going to listen to them. He's on no, they're giving me some great advice.
Yeah.
And I need to listen for the better.
So it's not like loyalty, just like love, is an action word.
It is.
And it's not keeping score. But the second you tell me, well, we've been doing this and for you should be doing now I'm like, hold on.
No.
Are you saying that your loyalty was only transactional? That's it? Like there's nothing else?
Any relationship should not be transactional.
Like, I understand there's going to be a give and take in relationships, but to solely do it, because I give out of sincerity. I'm loyal out of sincerity. I'm not loyal to you because of who you're connected to. Like, even in this industry, where I tell you, being an actress and doing all this other stuff, I know, let me lean in, I know exactly who is sincerely supporting me. Yeah. And I also know who's only trying to stay close enough so they can stay connected.
Yeah. I have some friends like that too.
I'm very aware. Like for y'all watching, I'm very aware.
very. So you gotta watch those too, because people who don't really like you, but they need it because you connected with somebody else. That's just using it. They don't. Shame on you if you're doing that.
Don't never share nothing. Don't like nothing. Don't comment on nothing. But the second you get something that they consider big, that's my friend. My cousin did this. Like I went to school with her. Like. But when I asked you to take 2 seconds to share my reel,
you didn't. Yeah, I know, I get it.
But like you just staying close enough. And that loyalty thing, I talked about familiar relationships and romantic and friendships, but even working relationships with these companies you work for.
Yeah.
That goes like, companies are sending out loyalty to our company, blah, blah, blah. But the second something happens, you get sick or you got to take too much time off, they will drop you like a bad habit.
They will drop you like a bag. And I think, I don't know if you saw I posted it on TikTok, and this is sort of related. When it comes to loyalty with these companies, to a lot of people that work in these companies, I'm always going to be an advocate. Know your workers' rights. Because let me tell you, I don't know with a lot of states, but here in Atlanta, in the state of Georgia, we're state of at will, meaning that these jobs, they not going to show their loyalty to you. They can fire you for anything they want legally. And that's why I always rebel with a lot of workers. I say, hey, you can quit at any time without 2 weeks notice.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the type of loyalty that they don't show to you. Yeah. Right? So you can quit a job tomorrow if you wanted to and not give 2 weeks. There's nothing they can do. They might blacklist you. So if you ain't got no interest in going back into that insane industry, then you might want to be careful. But to the point that a lot of companies don't value people's time, right? And their loyalty towards they're working hard for a company. You got to be careful because you can get fired for anything nowadays. And
there was a lady, and especially with the company you're talking about, me being loyal to your company, where the PTO that I earned, you denied me even using it.
Yeah, I had that happen.
Like what? But you want me to be loyal to you, like you said with them. If they want to fire you, they can just at will fire you. Yeah. But most companies, even outside of a right to work state, they want you to give a 2 weeks notice. Yeah. You ain't even give me a day to get my affairs notice. You made me come in and work a whole shift, and at the end of the shift said, you know what, you don't got to come back. Like, you got one more day of production out of me and fired me, but you want me to give you 2 weeks notice so you can find somebody to replace me. Yeah. The math ain't mathing. And the loyalty, I don't know if you saw where there was a young lady.
I think I know what you're talking about. The young lady.
I can't remember what state it was, but she passed away at work and wasn't found for 4 days.
Oh, wow. You're thinking about a different story.
Yeah, 4 days. And you want to talk about loyalty to companies? You mean y'all got all these cameras everywhere. Y'all got systems of people checking in and checking out, but no one knew this woman passed away for 4 days. That was one of the saddest stories I read.
That is sad.
I was like, oh, boy, y'all make sure I just check with loyalty. And don't think because length of time, it's been a long time. Like, I've had people recently come into my life this year who have felt more loyal to me than I have like in the last 10, 15 years. And we've developed these great relationships that are growing rapidly. Yeah. So that's my take on that. But that was a personal thing. I was like, he had me effed up. You ain't gonna ever manipulate me into using my money the way you want.
This was an old story of a man that worked at, I think it was Burger King. He never missed a day. He's been there for 10 years. I don't know if that's right. But Burger King gave him like a pen and couple of hamburgers and said, thank you.
Yeah, ain't miss a day of work, and that's all y'all can provide.
Yeah, that's all you can provide.
A franchise.
At that point, you might as well just be the owner of a franchise of a Burger King at that point.
Yeah, we ain't talking about, a family-owned store just in one city. We talking about a franchise. Y'all could get that man a $5,000 bonus, something.
Because they know they got it. But again, we don't give your loyalty to these companies, man.
The way I would have threw that burger back at them, like, y'all can keep these burgers. Like Rochelle off Everybody Hates Chris. My man got 2 jobs.
So, and then the second, and I think we kind of answered it, but the to the audience, the final question. I'm sorry. What was it being single, attractive, friendly, outgoing, and attractive people you're not interested in, but I'm sorry, I can't read today. But they take your being nice or compliment them as an automatic sign of interest of.
Let me read it.
I can't read
that's why he got the second host here to help. Okay, so this is the topic: the woes of being single, attractive, friendly / outgoing, and attracting people that you're not interested in, but they take your being nice or complimenting them as an automatic sign of interest in them. This is another personal one, and this happens to me more often than not. I am an outgoing person. My personality draws people. I'm also a person that will compliment what I see, right? So if I see you, whether I see you in person or online, if I see this like beautiful aura around you, and I witness that in people because I'm such an empath and I just see the good, positive aura around certain people, I will directly reach out and say, hey, you have such a beautiful smile, or you look so handsome in that, whatever. So sometimes on Facebook, they have those people you may know that I come across. Yeah. And it may not be somebody I know personally, but because we have a friend in common or something, they'll come across. And so this happened more recently, but it's just one incident out of many that's happened to me like this. There was a young guy who I saw, and he had the most beautiful, welcoming smile in his headshot, in his picture, his profile picture. So I DM'd him like I do so many people, and I said, hey, hi, I just reaching out. You came up as one of the people I may know. I said, but I just wanted to say that you have such a beautiful smile, blah, blah, blah. I hope that you have an amazing day. Take care. And sometimes that in itself is something that people needed. I also get these spiritual downloads, especially with friends, where I reshare positive things. And a lot of times I had a homeboy recently, he said, I don't know how you know, but you always send these to me right on time. And I said, there's nothing I'm doing. It's just something I sense that you needed. So I sent this to this young man about his smile, and he commented back. He was, oh, thank you so much. And that's all it was. I was complimenting him. It wasn't me showing interest. It was none of that. And we get to talking and find out that his cousin is a mutual friend of mine in the entertainment business that I've worked with very directly. So we're talking. This person is also a musician, So once I get to talking about topics that I'm interested in, I get to talking. Yeah. So we're talking about
me too.
music. We're talking about entertainment. Out of all this talking we did, and we went back and forth in the DM, chat back and forth for a good little while. I think it's well over an hour. And then he sent me a friend request. He said, I hope that's okay. I said, oh, yeah, that's fine, and added it. I went on about my married day. Like I said, I've been busy with stage managing and flag football and my band, getting stuff together behind the scenes, building busy. I'm not thinking about him again, because again, I'm not interested in him like that. Like, if anything, we could try to build a friendship, but I'm not interested in you. So last week, I get a message, a DM. He was like, dang, so you don't gave up on me already? Like, you don't lost interest that quick? And I read it. Before I responded, I had to read it like a couple of times. And I was like, so I had to send him a little voice message. I said, hey, I am so sorry if I gave you that impression that I was interested. I said, I even went back and looked through all of our correspondence back. I said, that was something I never expressed, but if that's what you gathered from me reaching out to you, I truly, sincerely apologize because that was not my interest. Now, I don't know if he felt this small once he heard my voice message because he didn't responded at all. He ain't came back, but I get that a lot. Like, now I find myself sometimes playing double dutch on, should I compliment this person? Should I not? Yeah. Because I'm not interested in them and I don't want them to think that. Because me personally, if I'm interested in you, I will tell you, or if you're interested in me, tell me. It will, even if I'm not, I will tell you that in a gentle way, like, yeah, I'm not interested, but we can start building a friendship and I won't act weird towards you after that. Right. Most times people start acting weird towards me. Once I turn them down, they're shy back because I guess they're like, oh, I can't show my face over there no more. But I get that a lot, that I'll compliment somebody and they'll automatically assume it's an interest. And I'm like, are we in a society now where we don't compliment each other enough to where the only time we think it can happen is somebody is expressing interest for like a dating situation or relationship? Are we that far into society?
I think we are. So there's a twist for that. So backstory, shout out to I Am Streetwear Fashion company and fashion show last week. That was amazing. Shout out to y'all. So it's kind of a twist because after the show, I followed a lot of models, right? Men and women, right? Although the women, and I'm gonna come and say the men look very good too. They're very attractive men with their outfits. They look good. Yeah. And women, of course, they look course they look
You
fine.
got excited about that when you said women.
Of course they look fine. But when I followed them on social media, on Instagram, I needed to because I was one of the photographers.
Yeah.
So I was trying to send
And
out
tag and all that kind of stuff.
tags and photos of them, because I have it on my phone. Let me send it out to the models because obviously they're going to want it.
Yeah.
And I start following the male models. I follow them like, hey man, you did good. Oh, you look good here. And they're like, oh, thanks, bro. We pieced it up. My women was a little nervous about because me being the guy, and I had to make sure when I messaged the ladies, because I followed them first, because on Instagram you got to follow them first and then send them a quick message.
Yeah.
And then it's up to them to respond back so I can keep sending them messages. So I had to be very careful because it's like, I want to message you. I think you look very pretty, but I'm not trying to flirt with you because I don't want to come across as this creepy dude that just show up to fashion shows because of the women. I'm not a creep, right? I just have an art for photography, and then we stream the event. So of course, So to answer your question, I think we are in that society to where it's so scary to compliment people now because you don't know what their mindset will be like. With some of the models that were there, hey, my name's Kennedy. I streamed the event. I've got photos of you that I took on the show. Here you go. And some of the girls that really did well, like, damn, do I say, hey, you did amazing. I was blown away. So I said, okay, screw it. I'm just going to say it and see what happens. They might unfollow me.
Yeah.
After saying, they might think I'm a creep, I guess. Some women say, oh my God, thank you so much. Oh, this really means a lot to me. Oh, you just made my day. I'm like, oh, well, thank you. Because I was scared because I didn't know because I'm not trying to flirt with you. Now, if you want to,
you like, well, if you
want to
respond
to that and you want something done, sure. But my intentions are good. Like, I'm not creepy with it. I just want to send you these photos and just say, hey, you did amazing. And I think it's scary, but it's good because for me, it's like words of affirmation. Yeah, that's my love language. If you telling me I'm doing a good job, I get so excited. So I try to express that to other people that, hey, you did good, right? Because especially with models, the eyes are on you, and like you have to concentrate. You can't mess up, and you can't trip or fall or do anything awkward because we streamed it live. Yeah. So it's live. I can't undo a live stream or edit some things out on a live thing. So I like to do that for my women. Like, hey, you look good. You did amazing. I was blown away with your performance. Your walk was great. You have a great day. And then the response was, oh my God, thank you. I was just like, oh, thank God. Yeah. Because, and I just left it alone after that. I didn't say anything else. Right. So to the twist of that, yes, it for my point of view, it is weird. It's so scary for me because I get so nervous. Yeah. Right. But sometimes I just kind of go for it and see what happens. And then I might get an unfollow. I might get a response back. I might get blocked. I don't know. But to answer your other question, I think we are in a society now that it is we're in this to where, like, if somebody reaches out to somebody to say that they did good, it's like, oh, it's a flirty thing now. Yeah. Right. And I'm just like, it sucks. It really does suck because you're just a genuinely good person. It's just saying, hey,
I'm genuinely trying to say, I think that the energy you're putting out into the world right now is a beautiful thing. And I just want to compliment that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And like I said, I don't know if he is like, oh shit, like, dang, I misread that. Because before I even comment again, I went back to the beginning of our talking. Yeah. I listened to every message between us. I'm like, not one time did I say, so what's going on with you? You know? Not one, like, I say, I don't want anyone to feel like I led them on, like I'm a tease. I'm none of that. Because I'm there. I don't know if people got this. Yeah, I'm a very direct person, you know. Even if I don't tell you right up front that I'm interested, because I may not be interested at initial, but the longer we start talking, I may develop some feelings. But when those feelings even develop, I will communicate that. Yeah. And I think that's a problem too, is that most adults especially are not communicating. Or they're communicating, but they're not on the same wavelength. So one person is communicating like, I'm just giving you a compliment, and the communication the other person is hearing is, oh, they want me. yeah, that's what they hear. Like, so you both can kind of communicate, but your wires are crossed. Yeah. You're not communicating the same thing. But I was like, I just find myself on days where I just like, I'm double dutching. Like, do I even like in some of the comment sections, I'm like, do I heart or like this? Because I know the second I do, this person about to jump in my inbox. I know it's coming.
Hey, I saw you like me.
Yeah, like, what's it? You got a man? Like it automatically goes. So, and I try, especially when it comes to men, the one feedback, and I have a lot of platonic male friends who I'm like the conduit that they come to kind of get things off their chest and talk to that they don't feel comfortable talking to other women because they know this is a safe space for them. Yeah. I make this space safe for men to talk to me about whatever, even if they want to cry. Like I don't put that out there. Yeah. Because that's one thing I hate in our society is a double standard. Like men can't cry, that they're not supposed to show emotion.
I cry. Let me tell you, men out there, men. If you watch it, it's okay to cry.
It's very okay.
I think I cried more this year than I have than ever, right?
Yeah, and there's just some men that won't even admit that because spaces aren't safe for them. But I'm that safe space. And one thing I hear from a lot of my platonic male friends, and I'll see it on social media too, that men never get compliments. That they, it's rare that they get compliments, sincere compliments at that. So I make it a point to not only compliment people, but definitely men, especially my black men. My brothers, like making sure, like, hey, brother, you look good in that suit. Yeah. I love what you're doing with your children over here. I love this content you're creating. I love your creativity here. I try to make sure I'm sincerely giving them that because a lot of them do feel that they don't get that it's lacking. But again, like I said, it's like double dutch.
I kind of agree. Yeah. I'm on that wavelength too. I kind of agree sometimes. But then for me too, I kind of just, it's always, again, compliment, words of affirmation. That's my love language, right? But sometimes I think a lot of men. So
basically when I was like, them thighs, them muscles, you was feeling that. Yeah, okay.
And it was so my friend. Oh, I can't put okay, Tiffany, I love you. But
what up, Tip?
I be like, I be working out. And she's like, oh, okay. Like, and then you're like, well, you do look good. I'm like, all right, that I don't know. That just it's no ego because people think I got an ego. It's no ego. It feels good, right? Yeah. And I think for me, it's like having the confidence, right, for our black men, and that's the one thing I think a lot of black men should work a little bit more on is embracing that confidence. Yeah. Whereas if somebody may not give you that compliment, work on that confidence to say, damn, well, I know I'm fine. I know I'm, and it's no ego thing, but it's just kind of, it boosts yourself up because you're not getting those compliments. Now you have a substitute in my mind.
Yeah. And I think self-esteem, the word is in the word. Yes. Self. Like, I think self-esteem starts with self. Even if it's the most basic level of you getting up in the morning and looking in the mirror and says, I love you. Mm-hmm. That's one of the most important, like, basic foundations of self-esteem. People can add to and feed into your self-esteem, but at the end of the day, your soul self-esteem shouldn't be dependent on you going out and people complimenting you. Yeah. Like, it has to start with self, and people pick up on that. So if you don't think on a basic level that you love yourself in your form, then the expectation that everybody else is going to come and automatically give you that is like, that's a low functioning attitude to have. So I tell them, the child walk past the mirror all the time, like, oh, that's what they like, because she got it, because she it. Like, I be like, I'm going to boost myself. So by the time somebody tells me that, one, you're not going to be able to tell me that in a manipulative way to get me to do and say whatever, but it just adds to that. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I really feel that. Because as beautiful as I think I am, some days I want to jump inside of somebody else's body and see myself from their point of view. Because there's days people are complimenting me, like this past weekend, you were talking about ESPN, I was working at the Clemson App State game. Shout out to my alma mater, Clemson University. They pulled that game out, child. It'd be some football games I'm like, I can't talk no trash until the fourth quarter. It would say 0-0. Because y'all be having my heart just... Oh, man. But I was working in one of the young ladies who, shout out to you, she hooked me with a connection of black women who are filmmakers, and I'm so grateful for that. But she was just like, you are amazingly beautiful. You got beautiful skin. Yeah. Here I am like, I got blemishes I need to clear up. So she's like, no, your face is so clear. So sometimes I be wanting to jump into other people's skin to see what they see that I don't see, you know. Yeah. Even though I know I'm beautiful and I love myself, but when people give me compliments, sometimes I was like, they really think my face clear right now? Child, y'all don't see these like, this little pimple that popped up that I keep messing with. Like, so I, you know, start with self-esteem and starting with self. Right. On a basic level, if you can get up in the morning, even if you're not looking your best, even if you're not where you were 10 years ago and you're trying to get back to that person in you, start telling yourself, I love me. I love you in the mirror every morning. You will see how your thinking begins to change about how you feel about yourself and how you accept people and what they feel about you and how they're treating you. You will see how that slowly starts to change if you start that foundation of building on top of that. Simple.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I ain't meant to go to church. I was just pass the collection plate.
Words. $1 million worth of game right here.
We need to have a sound effect for that, like a church.
Yeah, yes.
Something. We need to praise something.
Yes. The applause.
Hallelujah. Put that in there.
Yeah. What she said. No, it's true though. Self-esteem and confidence. I think a lot of people should work more on. But that's just one thing. When you see me post on Instagram, it's confidence. Yeah. No egos and confidence for sure. But for sure. So we're gonna wrap up this week's episode. You back here next week?
I'm back here next week. Back in the studio, live. Look, he touched me.
We're here.
I'm here.
She's here.
I'm here.
So thank you guys for staying tuned for this week's episode. Again, next week we'll be back here doing it again for you guys. Evelyn, it's always a pleasure.
It's always
have you on the show.
Pleasure to be here.
This show. This your show too now.
Child.
So you have your own podcast show now.
Yeah.
But if you guys listen to the show on any audio platform you get your podcast from, whether that's Spotify, iHeart, Apple, and also we're streaming the shows on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram Live, and also we're uploading to Amazon Live shoppable videos that's partnered with Amazon. We're going to upload the podcast there. We're going to list all of the products that you see here on the set so that way you can start your podcast journey and you get to have the ideas of how we start here at K.L.P Entertainment with our equipment. So we'd love to see that as well. It's been a pleasure, y'all. See y'all in next week's episode. Have a great rest of your week, Atlanta. Stay swanky.
Deuces.
Peace.
Go! What's going on in Hot Atlanta? Live from Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P Entertainment and K.L.P Studios. Then K.L.P in the morning with your host, K.L.P Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform.
Go.